another time with the Power Circuits. This weekly informative program is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. In this edition, we have the following reports. We begin by taking a highlight of the engagement of the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, with the African Development Bank in South Korea. TCN says bulk power restored in Birnin Kebbi substation. There is a spotlight on the turnaround investments by the management on TCN Healthcare. It is a fully equipped medical center and you would love to have a view of it. The next report is on NAPTIN, which got an award from the Bureau of Public Service Reforms. And in today's interview segment, Engineer Abubakar Abdulaziz, the Assistant General Manager Technical Services in Kaduna region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, spoke on a new 33 kilovolts feeder that was commissioned at the 330, 132, 33 kilovolts Mando transmission substation to better improve bulk power supply for the Mando host community in Kaduna. Amara Agogoisi will be taking you through this half-hour program. Stay with us. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, was recently in Busan, South Korea, where he led a high-level engagement with the African Development Bank. This was part of his top-level participation at the Just Energy Transition and Agricultural Transformation for Africa Conference.
According to a report by the Minister's Office, the Nigerian delegation had a productive bilateral cooperation meeting with the African Development Bank AFDB Cabinet, presided over by the AFDB President, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. The Nigerian delegation, led by the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, secured an in-principle agreement from AFDB for technical advisory sponsorship. This exercise focuses on stress testing and capacity simulation of Nigeria's power infrastructure to enable Nigeria establish operational capacity across the value chain, facilitating project prioritization. The AFDB also confirmed readiness to disburse a previously approved $250 million fund for the Nigeria Electrification Project (NEP) under the Rural Electrification Agency (REA) and extended support to the states in northern Nigeria through the $20 billion Northern African Desert to Power Fund that aims to generate 10,000 megawatts of electricity in target areas through renewable energy technologies.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN says bulk power supply has been restored to Birnin Kebbi and its environs through the Birnin Kebbi transmission substation. The bulk power was restored at the weekend, the company said in a statement by Ndidimba, General Manager, Public Affairs. The bulk power restoration work was carried out by a team of substation, lines and the protection, control and metering engineers of TCN who converged from different TCN regions nationwide to expedite repair works. With the intervention, bulk power was quickly restored to Kebbi and environs through the 150 MVA and 60 MVA power transformers in spite of the enormity of the recent fire incident that affected the substation. Supply was first restored to Sokoto State through the 132 kV Kaduna, Zaria, Funtua, Gusau, Talatan, Mafara line earlier before the power supply was restored to the Birnin Kebbi town and environs at the weekend. TCN is also working to equally connect the 132 kV Birnin Kebbi Sokoto line that will enable TCN to transmit additional bulk electricity to Sokoto State and its environs. The company says it appreciates the resilience of power consumers, Kaduna Electric and all stakeholders for their support. The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN has been applauded for the superior attention it pays to the health care of the workers. The head of TCN's medical department, Dr. Agatha Edet Ademilui, gave the commendation recently at the TCN corporate headquarters, Abuja.
According to Dr. Edet Ademilui, The TCN management has sustained the priority they give to standard healthcare service provision, and that has immensely contributed to the motivation of staff.
TCN management offers comprehensive care to its staff, and this quality of care is not very common in other industries, because the only treatments that are off limits are like cosmetic procedures. Every other thing, from primary care to dental to maternity to cancer care, whatever a TCN staff needs is provided without any exception. So we make sure that those services are available, and the staff who need them can benefit from them.
The medical expert also clarified that all these services are provided to all staff without discrimination.
One good thing about the services in TCN is that it's non-discriminatory, which means that be you the CEO of this company or be you the janitor, everybody who is ill is given the highest level or quality of care. So that is why a lot of the staff feel very confident, and they are very committed into offering their best, because they know that TCN has their back, especially where medical services are concerned, and that has always been the culture in this electrical industry.
She further gave an overview of the role of the medical department of TCN, which has well-trained health experts to handle several medical situations.
Our sector is a medical services department, and as the name implies, we are here to ensure that we have a healthy workforce. So we are here to ensure that the staff and their dependents are healthy. We offer them quality healthcare services, and our other role is also to implement the medical policy of our organization.
The Power Circuit further explored how the medical officials of TCN often discharge their duties, including carrying out laboratory tests and other services.
I would like us to carry out the following test on this patient. I would like us to do the H. pylori, the malaria parasites, and the urine analysis. We have a list of the tests that are available here, and most of them are rapid tests. We have the malaria parasite test, we have the pregnancy test, hepatitis B and C, HIV, blood sugar. Most times we do a fasting blood sugar, and we can also do a random blood sugar for those who have eaten. We also have a urine analysis and the H. pylori test. We also have a VDRL for syphilis, and we carry out the vital test for typhoid fever, and the PCV, the packed cell volume, to find out how the blood level of the person we are trying to check.
Right at the inpatient room, Dr. Edet Ademili described the type of services provided in this facility. We
have 2 beds here where we attend to patients. Whatever we need to do, sometimes we run an infusion, sometimes we administer injections, sometimes we just resuscitate. We have the resuscitator. We have the suction machine here, which we use to remove phlegm, like thick secretions from sick people. Then we have the nebulizer for asthma patients. We also have what we call a defibrillator for people whose heart has stopped beating. These are all the arrays of the healthcare facilities and services provided by TCN. Let's also hear the rating of the TCN management by the professional health practitioner.
I rate TCN management very, very high because it's a top, health management is a top priority of the TCN management. So I rate them very, very high. Very, very, very high. We consult patients, diagnose them, and manage their health complaints. We also have one bed there. And also some family planning couch.
They say health is wealth. The transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, believes in this so much and is investing so much in healthcare. Get the elaborate gist about the medical department of TCN in an extensive interview with Dr. Agatha Edet Ademiluyi in subsequent editions. The National Power Training Institute of Nigeria has gotten a silver award from the Bureau of Public Service Reforms for undertaking key reforms in its operations. The Power Circuit brings to you a coverage of the award presentation ceremony held at the Training Institute's headquarters in Abuja.
In his opening remarks at the ceremony, the Director General of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, Ahmed Nagode, lauded the Bureau of Public Service Reforms for initiating the performance management and self-appraisal system towards helping the public agencies to improve on their productivity.
We believe in what you are doing. It's a much needed service to the public service of this great country, Nigeria. There is a need to build effective and efficient workforce in order to drive productivity, and your effort in deploying this tool is very instructive and a great way towards service delivery.
In his remarks, the Director General of Bureau of Public Service Reform, Dasuki Arabi, said the ceremony marks the end of deployment of self-assessment tool to appraise the operational performance of NAPTIN.
We are glad that we have come to the end of our deployment of self-assessment tool, and the result is out, and we'll be glad to handle that out. But I want us to note that this assignment started some time ago, and I've been informed that quite a number of changes have taken place between the time we deployed the self-assessment tool and what we have now on ground. National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, a power trainer with a difference. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Report on the self-assessment tool conducted on the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, August 2023. It is our singular honor and privilege, Director General, to hand over this tool of service and excellence. I'm hoping that by the time we return in the next 1 year, we will receive better results than this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Organizational self-assessment tool presented to the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria by the Bureau of Public Service Reforms for silver level performance of 73.23%. Congratulations to all of you.
The interview segment will be coming your way after this timeout. Don't go away.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
You are onto the interview segment of the Power Circuit, and we'll bring you a session with Engineer Bubakar Abdulaziz, the Assistant General Manager, Technical Services in Kaduna Region. The region recently commissioned a new 33 kilovolts feeder at the 330, 132, 33 kilovolts Mando transmission substation to serve the Mando area of Kaduna Metropolis. Engineer Abdulaziz speaks about the impact of the project in the coverage area. We learned that the leadership of the Mando community implored the support of TCN over poor power supply. How did the region handle these complaints?
In the recent time, we have received complaint from our host community that before now they were getting supply very fairly, but in the recent time they suffered an acute shortage of electricity supply, and the district head of Mando visited a transmission station with his entourage to lodge a complaint to the general manager on the relationship that they are our host community, and it is not fair that they hosted us for decades. They have never had problem. Why are they now having shortages of supply, and the economic situation has downgraded so much? So we told him that we give supply to distribution companies, and distribution companies are the responsible entity that's supposed to supply them.
Following this response, why did the TCN decide to implement a 33 kilovolts feeder project?
Much importantly is our past retired ex-staffs of the transmission or the Funk NEPA were living around Mando. Even the serving one are living also around Mando. So it becomes very, very necessary for us to see how we can resolve that issue. So I was delegated to engage with the community and the discourse. So we had several meetings with the distribution company on how to propose solution to them. At the end of the day, so many ideas technically were brought out to find a lasting solution, but we came about having a free feeder bay in our station, which we suggested to the Kaduna Electric that they can put Mando and the immediate environs of our host community on that feeder. And finally, after taking a very long time to see how we can adjust the network, we agree with the Kaduna Electric that they should see how they can provide them, being our host community. And we have a social responsibility to live in harmony with our host community. Is quite very necessary. Every organization has a package of that nature. So we vehemently carried out to see how we can propose solution to the Mando, and that is what really come about the installation of that breaker.
With this new feeder, is Mando going to have improved power supply?
The power supply is going to significantly improve in Mando. If you look at the proximity from our transmission station to the immediate community or the host community, which is Mando, is just talking about a distance of some meters. Distributing electricity sometimes, the far away it is from the source, the more the problem is. But now we are hoping that Mando and the immediate environs will definitely witness a significant improvement.
Talking about improved services, what message does TCN have for the distribution companies and other stakeholders?
Transmission Company of Nigeria, as one of the public service provider, we are always ready to give our best to the consumers, to collaborate with any distribution company to provide the services. Our own services is services to the populace of Nigerians, and we have to do our best all the time. If we have challenge, we will try to manage it, and we are always trying to see how we can give the best to Nigerians. Thank you very much.
That was Engineer Bubakar Abdulaziz, the Assistant General Manager, Technical Services in Kaduna region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. The company continues to demonstrate capacity and the zeal to improve bulk power supply nationwide, just as it calls for more partnership from stakeholders to drive this agenda. The Power Circuit will always bring you more informative interviews in subsequent editions. As we come to a close, we take the high points of this edition again. We started by taking a highlight of the engagement of the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, with the African Development Bank in South Korea. Then we brought to you an extensive report about how the management of TCN is changing the face of healthcare in the company with massive investments in equipment and facilities. The next report was on Naptins Award by the Bureau of Public Service Reforms. And in the interview segment, Engineer Bubakar Abdulaziz, the Assistant General Manager, Technical Services in Kaduna region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, spoke on a new 33 kilovolts feeder that was commissioned at the 330-132-33 kilovolts Mando transmission substation to better improve bulk power supply for the Mando host community in Kaduna. With all these efforts at boosting the transmission system, you can also reach out to TCN on how the company can improve its services. Subscribe to the TCN YouTube channel, TCN_Nigeria. On Facebook, kindly like the page Transmission Company of Nigeria. On X, formerly Twitter, follow TCN via at TCN_Nigeria. TCN is also on Instagram, TCN_Nigeria. TCN takes your email messages seriously, so keep them coming via affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. Why don't you also learn about the company's activities through the interactive website? Do that on www.tcn.org.ng to get near real-time data of the Nigerian grid system. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, commits to always deliver the best of services in the delivery of bulk power nationwide in the most efficient way. Let's have more conversation on this in the next edition of the Power Circuit. I am Amara Agugesi. Bye.